thing. I thought I just pushed that on. Okay. It's like, dude. You got to do it. So I guess I turned it on early and I shut it off before we went. Okay, so I know we're good now.
Okay, now out there, now they're saying no sound, no sound, no sound.
Oh my God, this just kills
Hi,
me.
Wolfman.
Okay, it's got to be fine now. Somebody say something, or I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going fishing tomorrow.
Red. Is it supposed to be red?
What's red?
That thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a straight red. I know. No, everybody's now.
Oh,
okay,
God.
now they all. Yeah. Nobody does it. I don't know. Okay, so what I was saying before is I think up ways to make money. If the price is right, the flight's tonight, and we are sitting on a potential gold mine. I've not shared this with you. I've not shared this with you guys, but this property, that barn, being as isolated and nobody can hear you scream down here. And that's always important for like SEAL training and shit like this. So this guy leaves me this voice message, and it's just got my head spinning of the potential in all this. Now
So hold it over there to the microphone.
Well, I gotta. Hang on.
7421048. I need to let you know that I did tell somebody that I was a Navy SEAL, and I deserve everything bad that happens to me because of that. I did that. So, if you could give me a call back and talk about it. So I need this. So I'd appreciate it, and have a good day. Bye.
Am I the only one that sees the dollar in that?
Yeah.
He wants me to beat him. He wants me to lead him around in a collar and tell him he's a bad boy and spank his ass. And there's nobody in the barn right now. We don't have guests down. We could get these guys down that want me to humiliate them, that I would be the masochist guy for big money. You know, that if you didn't hear that, you need to listen to it again. He absolutely wants me to beat him and humiliate him. I got to be honest, I'm a little flattered by the whole thing.
Well, you would be.
I mean, I think we could charge. I've never saw that. You know, that just opens up so many doors here.
Chickens, those high heels.
Yeah, that's just what I saw. I had to think about that voice message for a minute, and I'm not going to get baited into some of these guys. Really bait me into want me to call them back, and they're going to record me and put me up on YouTube. But they think that was genuine. He really wants me to call him back and go, you phony you. So I don't know. Just a thought. There's got to be more out there like that. I don't even know how to advertise it. I'll rely on some of you guys. Maybe we can get the word out and see. I can use a few guys down here to help me out with it, you know.
Hi, Wolfman. Glad to have you. It's the first time Wolfman Jack's been on here.
That's right. Is it the first time?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome, Wolfman. We got some few. And the old guys, everybody's on here. Jay, Crazy Horse, Coon's Ass. We got them all up here tonight. So
Crazy Horse is a new subscriber. Glad to have you.
There you go.
We got a nice donation from R.C. Braxton from El Paso. And turns out we've been to El Paso. And
yes, we have.
Marfa, we were riding down the road and there was this little, I don't know, this little building on the side of the road. And what was that?
That was the strangest thing
I'll
I'd
think
ever
of it in a minute, but it's a
Gucci.
high-end, no, not Gucci. I'll think of it in a minute. But it's $1,000 purses and, you know, boots and shoes and shit like that. And we're just riding down the road. There's nothing. It's a freaking desert. And I just looked over there, and there it was. Pull over! I started screaming. It was, you can't even get in it.
It's fake.
It's fake. It's a
not.
fake
I
store.
swear it's like
It was
Gucci or
art.
something.
It was
Art.
now think of it.
One little building there, but you look at it
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my God, I know that name. You know, It's
Yeah.
a famous thing. But you guys, somebody's searching it. There's probably chickens on here searching the shit.
Yeah.
It's just really
Marfa.
strange. So Coda,
Not Yves Saint Laurent. No.
what?
YSL.
A year ago, find my family owned a World War II prayer book. How about that? I recall that. So yeah, I do. I really go out of my way sometimes for folks. This is blood clot material right here, and I did it today for a guy that was looking up his uncle World War II service in UDT, Purple Hearts, underwater, just all this, Korea, Vietnam, and none of it was true. And I had to write that letter back and detail all this with the DD-214. I don't know what he told you guys, but those are tough letters to write. So I can do it this way or do it that way, and I'll help you out with it.
Yeah.
So glad to help you out with it.
I don't know what people think, but we don't like telling any family member that their family member's full of shit. That is not fun to us. We hate it, especially when the children contact or the grandchildren, but that is not fun for anybody, especially Don. We don't like it. And we've even been contacted a couple of times, and we're both like, please be true, please be true. You know, we want it to be true so bad, and it's usually not. So we had a young seal and his family come by to see us yesterday, and we have been friends forever and ever before he even got his trident. He was always down at the cabin. We just love him to death, and he has a daughter now that is, I don't know, I'm terrible with age. I would think 8 or 10, something like that. And she's into collecting all kinds of shit. And they came up to a sea glass festival up in St. Michael's, and she makes some jewelry and stuff with the help of her mom. So Don was mentioning he went out to get oysters the other day, and we never knew it, but when he came back in, the embankment over there, he said, it looks like that somebody for years has just been throwing old broken bottles and shit off in that water. And so when he was telling the kids this, their eyes lit up, and so he and his daughter went with Don out there, and they were pulling these old bottles out of that murky, stinky mud out there, and they had such a good time. So they're kind of going to come back and explore this place, because there is some cool old stuff. And we have, I call it the junk pile, I don't know what it is, down in the woods. I guess maybe you don't do it in the city, but when you've got some acreage, you find a place where you just throw shit, you know.
Well, this is before landfills.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
It's not like they're pigs or anything, but they would take that and throw it, and slowly, it's been eroded away, and there's just these old bottles, and
Medicine
glass
bottles
there.
and stuff
That's
like
where
that.
they
It's
would
very
dump.
cool.
And I took him over to the graveyard over here, and I said, I don't know how many, we were over there looking at these old graves that we have here. I was like, I don't know how many are already in the water. I've poked with a stick, and he goes, well, there's one right there. And I was like, son of a bitch, there he is. There's another one that's partially in the water. He said, pull it
The
up.
grave?
Yeah, there's another grave.
Ooh.
There's no telling how many graves are over there, but they get eroded away and they go into the water. We have whole graveyards that are underwater here in some of the towns and stuff.
Nobody's writing nothing or something. Is
I
everything
think
okay?
they're just listening.
No.
Maybe. I
don't
don't
know
know.
why.
Terry's probably going to write me here and say he's back. I'll let you in on that one. So we don't know what's going on here. Unnecessary evil. There you go. Okay, I don't know what that one's for.
Don's a slob. I mean, we show you his desk all the time and the things he has on it, but
It's just
he's
stuff.
just a slob. So, and I'm not much better. But over the winter time with the garage and the mudroom and stuff like that, you just stick shit places. And by the time spring comes around, like right now, you can't get in there and turn around. So he spent 2 days cleaning out that garage. He's got a pile of stuff out there and still not finished. So we got to get in that thing next.
I'm going to loop around. That is taking the boys out duck hunting. So that's Dennis Capo had that made. That was not cheap to do either. And it's all mounted in the old shelves, and his boys up here and me taking them hunting.
That was really cool. Dennis is making me a new walkway out here, and he pulled up today, and him and the boys made the frame out of an old pallet. It's really, really cool. But we love that, and that's a good mount. I think that's one of my favorites. It's not like, they're fake flying or anything. I mean, that is the way they look when you are carrying them out of the blind.
Well, guys hang them up on the side of the barn, and
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've always liked those. The pheasants that they have like that, or a couple of grouse, and the geese and everything else like that. Those are my favorite type of mounts. Hang them up on the barn, get ready before they pluck them. So that was cool. So spring cleaning. I have been throwing out more shit from the old guy that lived here. The stuff that has not been touched. All that ammunition in there, it has not been touched since the day I unloaded it from the trucks to move up here. And so all his shit, there's still so much of his shit in there. And so we're just getting it all out. But I'm taking a break tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off.
Well, we've been here for 5 years. But we had lived in our house in Chesapeake for almost 29 years, for over 28. And when we rented those pods, and Capo and all the guys helped do it too, but talking about shoving shit places, there was so much stuff from the barn and from the cabin that we didn't know what to do. We really just shoved it somewhere. And we were so intent on getting the charity up and running, started having wounded guys down here very, very early on, that we've not even got around to that stuff after 5 years. Time just sort of gets away from you, don't it?
I've still got batteries in there from the Zodiac boats from 6 years ago at the courses that just stacked up and just shit. So it's all going. And I meant to tell her, if you ever saw that video that I did once before, the 3 rules for man survival. One of those 3 rules was never fight a guy with cauliflower ears. Well, that was the guy I was talking about. He was down here yesterday. And he's a stout boy. And he's got those cauliflower ears. And you don't get those for no good reason. So.
Big wrestler.
Yeah.
So Friday we had an appointment with Michonne, and we've been talking to you guys about Michonne for a long time. Can you think of the name of it? It's a degenerative disease that's prominent in Pomeranians. And basically, he took an x-ray of both of her hind legs. And like if this is a groove that her kneecap is supposed to be right in there in the middle, that thing had worn and was so slick that the kneecap actually moved, and her kneecap is on the side of her little legs on both of them. I don't even know how she's been getting up and down, but she has been. I mean, she even runs out there after the big dogs. So they wanted to do surgery on her on the 14th, but that's the day that my grandkids will be here for Easter. So I'm going to call tomorrow and make that the first surgery for right after the kids go home. And she has got to basically be contained for 6 to 8 weeks. So
just for one leg, then they got to do the other.
And then we got to do the other. So
we think she's in tough shape. He said that. He goes, I've never seen anything like this. He does the repairs. He goes, hers are on opposite sides of where they usually are. Their kneecaps are on the outside of the legs when most of them are on the inside. And we're going to try and see if he thinks we can hang out until September, because Michonne is not a cold weather dog. She's a summer dog, though.
Oh, we're not going to put the first one off till September, are we?
I've been thinking about that. You know, we got the pool, we got people down, we got the fishing going on. She is getting by. If we keep an eye on her, we keep
But
her.
this
She's
is
doing
just-
better since that doping up shit.
But this is just April.
If he thinks it can wait, it's gone on this long. You know, look at something at the end of summer. I'm taking her. I try to do something special with each of the dogs by themselves. It's a nightmare, but I already got the fishing rods loaded in the truck. I'm taking her over to go snakehead fishing, and it'll just be me and her in the morning. We'll go over for a few hours and see how we do, but give her a little daddy time. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. It's
That's
6-8
okay.
weeks of leg.
It's okay about your long message, Wolfman. I'm glad that your father got to see the website and get on here and listen to us run our mouth. That's very cool. And there's we have several people that are on here and have been on here that for health reasons, you know, they're basically sort of in the house, you know, by themselves. They don't get out much, and this is a good outlet for them. So I'm really glad that your dad got to be on here. But I
Yeah,
think
that
we
is
should
cool.
have that. I think we should have the first leg done, and then wait for the second leg in the wintertime. Get one of them down.
That's too bad about your dad. I would have liked to know him. I would have liked to know him. That's for sure. I'm not sure what that is. It's her knees, but they just groove out where her knee is sliding out of. They just dig a deeper groove. They basically, you know, file down her kneecaps. They put it together. They do one at a time. And Michonne is going to be much easier than most dogs because she is a lap dog. She says he can sleep on your lap, sleep in bed with you, get up. You know, we don't have to keep her absolutely confined. You know, he expounded on that. And we just take her out, minimize the activity, and she'll get used to not putting weight on that leg until it's healed, and then she does the other. But I think we should hold off until the winter time. It's much easier on her and us. She's going to miss the whole summer.
She thought we didn't think she was as old as she is, and something popped up on Facebook the other day, and there was a picture of me holding her as a puppy in 2015. So she's a little bit older than we thought, but little dogs live a long time, and that's our Buddy. She's the oldest one here, and Donna and I are big into not doing surgeries on animals that's not going to give them a whole lot better quality of life. And if the vet had not told us that, oh yeah, you know, unless something goes really, really wrong, this is going to fix her right up. She's going to be new money, so we're going to do it. We'll see how the first one goes.
Crazy Horse, that was a guy that's on the, he lives here on the western shore of Maryland. He's a subscriber, and asked if we wanted Xena, and it was a tough decision. And then we saw her, and she is fantastic. I mean, she's really spectacular. But it was from another subscriber here, and they raise them and train them over.
But when we went to get Warrior, this was a high-speed breeder. Warrior was very expensive, and the most breathtaking English Lab puppies that you've ever seen in your life. I mean, I don't know if you've looked at any of these videos on here, but he was just a fur ball. He was absolutely beautiful. And when we got Xena, we actually met up at Greg's old hardware store, and Xena wasn't anything special to look at. I mean, she was a little black lab. She was cute, but she wasn't, you know, anything spectacular. But man, is she spectacular now. She is so smart. Just so smart and just impressive. The rest of the dogs get in their swimming pool and they walk down the steps. Well, Xena runs like a bat out of hell and just dives in that pool. Time after time after time. She dives off the diving board. So she has turned out to be one of the best dogs we've ever had.
Speaking of that, I ordered my ducks. And, they'll be here May 2nd, 150 of them. And,
oh, God. You have no idea the flies and the duck shit that's just everywhere. It's awful. And speaking of
Well,
shit,
we wild them up here real quick, but there's always, it's really so much of it is for those dogs. They need retrieve. So we have so many wild ducks around here and geese, but you need the constant. You have to have something going on all the time. There's probably still 100 ducks left over from last year. They're still here. There's teal all over the place, wild ducks, wood ducks everywhere. But I order them up so that when guys come down, there's no screwing around. One way or another, we're going to get it all done the entire time that they're here. So,
well, we've been hiring
it's a pain in the ass.
a guy to help us. We got a lot of shit that needs done around here, and we really haven't had help since we've been here. So we've been having to hire a guy to come and do some handyman stuff. So Don's got the pen built nice so that he can just get in and out of that with the gate, and he's got the garage all cleaned up for the ducks. So hopefully it's going to be a lot easier on us. I want them to grow up and get out of there as quick as they can because it does stink. I don't care. He cleans that pen. He keeps it spotless, fresh water, fresh food. Don's always been like that when we had pigs and everything, but I don't care how much you clean. And I was talking about the duck poop. I woke up this morning. We slept in this morning. We never do that. But woo, I woke up this morning and I don't know what everybody did in the middle of the night, but it wasn't good.
Put them out. I don't
Everywhere.
know. Every once in a while they lose it. Warrior was sick. I think it was Warrior because he was heaving this morning. That's what woke me up, but he should have nudged me. Yes, I'm from Pittsburgh, and I still have that but accent. So if your father picked that up, a lot of people do. Like, you got to be from Pennsylvania. And I don't have a whole lot of it still in me. I'm not the downtown. We're going downtown, and all that we used to. But people can still pick up on that, and I can pick up on others. That there's a very distinct Western Pennsylvania accent that they have going on. So
coon-ass fly season. That was another reason we had the handyman come out here. Some of our screens had just gotten off, and you'll be fine like today, and then one day you'll just wake up and it's like the Amityville Horror. There's just flies everywhere. So we have the fly strips hanging down. I've already got ahead of the curve, and I've got some kind of big box now to hang in there. And so I was talking about it to people around here, and they're like, that's just Dorchester County. That's what they say.
You think it'd be that it would just freak you out, because we go through seasons here where the mosquitoes are really bad and the deer flies are bad, the horse flies are bad, then the flies are bad, and then the biting flies are bad, but it's never all that bad. I mean, you really get used to it really kind of quick. Some of it blows, but we got new screens. Dakota hasn't ripped up yet. And,
he will if you don't get some boards up there or something. So, the Amish, we have a big Amish market in Easton, and you talk about their pies. When you walk in there, those little Amish women are back there, and they are making bread, homemade bread. And there is nothing in the world other than a cooked onion that smells as good as homemade bread. Holy shit, big rolls. People line up on Saturdays to go up there and get their bread. So, the Amish are pretty cool. And we go in there and you can eat. And there are these little Amish girls in their bonnets, their little Amish dresses, and then the Amish guys back there working have their little black hats on. I just think they're so cute. Black hats and knee socks. Wonder why they wear that. Knee socks and shorts.
Who?
The little Amish boys, they wear high socks to their knees and little shorts.
Huh?
Yeah, do. And suspenders, and Dawn just asked me last week, get me a pair of suspenders.
Well, I'm going to have to. I have no idea what the hell we're talking about here. I've got to go fishing tomorrow with Sean. I got to go get the minnows. We're struggling for minnows out here. It's not warm enough yet.
Can't you get minnows right out here in this water?
Yeah, you'd think. Well, I thought my hot spot is just not warm enough yet. I don't think we're going to do really good tomorrow, but I got to get her out of here, so she should be okay.
Yeah, shot in the dark my in-laws, Don's father and mother, hired the Amish to turn their Eastern Shore house into a 2-story log cabin. It was spectacular, but they could use hand tools, but they couldn't own any. They could ride in a vehicle to get there, but they couldn't own a car. It was sort of strange, and although that place, his parents' place was absolutely breathtaking, the big log cabin, but I remember them talking about, my gosh, they celebrate so many.
They ain't what they all cracked up.
Yeah, I mean, they're
one
all
holiday after another, one excuse to get out
If
of there.
it's Jimmy Joe's birthday, everything shuts down. No worky today. I mean, I don't know.
No worky today.
No worky today. Always celebrating something. Chickens is giving us a link in case we want some Amish clothing.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me. Yeah, the east of Maryland, Cambridge, real close to there.
Somebody asked me about the picture of Reagan pointing her finger up here. So she's already called and complained that the makeup that I sent her was fake makeup, just fake eyeshadow. So she called and let me have it and told me she wants some real stuff. Well, my daughter had to go to the doctor and get blood drawn the other day,
get up here, you fucker.
and I guess Reagan was really being a little twat in there. So Fallon had told her, I'm going to call your grandma, I'm going to call Yaya. And that's what that was. She was pointing her finger and she said, you not call my grandmama. That's what it was. Oh, she's a mean. But she's not for us. She's good for us. So she'll be up here for a week. I'm excited to death.
There you go. She doesn't do it up here. We just spoil the shit out of them. They're fine with us. And as soon as they go back home. Oh, God.
My daughter sent a picture. Now, this is just barely April. And my daughter sent a picture. They have a big deck on the back of their house, and they just hired a guy yesterday to come and stain it. And she put in the caption on the picture she sent me, she said, never mind the pollen. And I was looking at that picture, and I thought, why in the hell didn't he stain the steps? Everything is stained except the steps that you walk up. And I looked closer. That was pollen. That thick on every one of those steps, April the 1st. Unbelievable. No wonder nobody can breathe down there. We don't have it that bad up here. We don't have pollen even on our cars, do we?
What?
Pollen. You know what pollen is? You dumbass. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You just like to try to make me look stupid, and in the process, you look stupid. So.
Well, mine is not an act. So we finally got Manchu on here. Now we can proceed. Where the hell is Chuck at?
Where's Manchu?
Steph, it's like everybody was partying at Manchu's house, and now they've all come. There's Steph. Hey, girl. Yeah, the redheads. I guess it's good luck when you can touch one of them.
To touch a redhead?
Yeah, redhead.
Oh, well, we're in there then.
Well, that's what Fallon says. They have to, it's good luck. And they get so much attention everywhere they go. They're like, oh my God. Look
I actually
blue
had
eyes and red hair. And people want to touch them. I guess it's good luck.
I had a country music station on in the car when I went to town earlier, and they were talking about the percentage of Americans that have got blue eyes. That's the rarest. Green eyes is next, and almost everybody's got brown eyes. But they were talking about people with red hair and blue eyes, and it's really, really rare for you to have red hair and blue eyes. Normally you have green hazel eyes, and so both of my red-headed grandkids have blue eyes. The whole family's got blue eyes except you. You're just normal. We're special. Dementia. Bidentia. We know. So Temple was down here yesterday, our young seal that was sitting there, and sitting right across from Donna, and he said, "You know who I'm talking about, Temple and his little girl." There they are, right there. Just proved my point. Yep, he's losing it. Is Chuck playing poker?
Chuck's playing poker, and I'm not done yet, Wheels. It's just wait for season 2. We're just getting warmed up here. But yeah, that needed to go up there. That was too special not to put that up there. So yeah, we're set.
That's one of my favorite mounts. I love that.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Really nice. I really like it. And we need to do a little more of that around here. We had some guy offer us. He's got his whole house is full of stuffed geese.
Who?
Sean Mann.
Oh, yeah.
He makes duck and goose calls. He's famous, Sean Mann.
So we go up there. You can Google him, Sean Mann, and he's got this big shop out in the back of his house. And I didn't have anything that looked like the Eastern Shore when I moved here. I didn't have anything to hang on the walls that looked like Eastern Shore. And he said, "Pick out anything you want, Diane. We'll get it all cleaned up and you can come back and pick it up." He had swans, he had geese, he had all kinds snow geese, beautiful mounts, just covered from floor to ceiling. Take what you want. I never did get one.
We'll have to go back up there. But pitching in, there's so much you can do with ducks and geese. And those geese, when they lose altitude and they just bow over and just bleed it off, they hook them up. And some of the stuff he was telling us, he's just such a legend here on the Eastern Shore of his duck and goose hunting capabilities. And he was pointing out the ducks, and he was like, that one is from somewhere in the mid up north. And I said, how can you, the way he said it, I was like, how can you tell that? He was like, look at its belly. The belly was rust. And he said that those are birds that are in a high concentration of iron in the water, and they're very specific to where they come. It discolors their belly feathers. Oh, that's a good one, buddy.
Thank you, chickens. I'm going to click on that as soon as we get off of here.
Good night,
Steph, I'm going to tell Fallon that.
Poof. That's a bad one, man.
I forgot to give him his probiotics today.
I don't know where he gets it from. I haven't fed him shit today.
No. See, Duck, I've not seen the trailer for our Ozark. Is it about time for it to come back down?
Oh, God. Get out of here, you little son of a bitch.
God
almighty. You take some of it. Get it over there to you. Man, I can't tell you how bad that is. Don't push it over this way. No, don't do that. Get out of here. Take it back.
I'm going to tell my daughter about that that redheads feel pain. Oh, God.
Dakota, come on, man.
Put him outside.
Put him outside. It's just one after, he's just ripping them out. He can't.
Put him outside, Don, please.
No, I'm not going to put him outside.
Well, what are we going to do? Smell it here, sit here and smell farts?
He gets all excited. We put him in the car the other day. I mean, we took him with Michonne to go up to the vet so she'd feel better. Michonne just, oh my God.
Nobody light a cigarette. Well, I told you, let's not take him. He'll be just fine here. And when we get in the car, I don't know if he gets anxiety because we're in the car, or if he gets excited.
He is.
But he goes
excited. He is just a tight ball.
The whole time.
And so there's no other way for it to go. And it's terrible in that truck because he's so worked up. Just being out, being happy. So, no.
We got to get a car. I'm going to write a couple of you up here some private things. Don won't do it. Don has bought one car in his life. I've bought the rest of them. But there is a Silverado truck up there in front of Cool Ice where we get all of our seafood. And I know the old guy that drives it. and it's got 130,000 miles on it. And in my past life, I would never buy a car that even had anywhere near 100,000 miles on it, but that's the way they do now. And he said 20,000 are best offer, so I'm going to go up there and look. Don can't get in my car, and I got 3 grandkids. I got to get something
I just
big.
need to keep the fur truck. I don't want to hear anything about it. I'm spending that money.
The fur truck. Before I can get in Don's truck and go anywhere, I have to put sheets over the seats because there's that much dog hair on everything. And slobber on the windows. It's awful.
It's fine. I like it. It keeps you warmer.
Payback for the haircut. It's probably right. We tortured them.
Yeah.
But they're sort of feeling back in now. They look pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with ourselves.
Let's see. Difference between a good haircut and a bad cut's
Couple of days.
2 weeks.
Yep. Better than taking them up there and freaking them the hell out. So Don
So,
went
yeah,
to see his mom, and she settled in her new apartment. And my doctor told me, she said, now if you guys are going to go over there near Chestertown, right on this side of the bridge, there is the best sushi restaurant you have ever had. Well, that's in Chester. But there was another one by the same name in Chestertown. So I told Don, this is going to be the best sushi you've ever had. He said it sucked, and there wasn't even any Japanese people in there. It was Mexicans making the sushi. He called me blistered.
They're
It's
all
awful.
Americans and Mexicans. The two
Excuse
girls
me.
making sushi were Mexicans, and they had a tip jar that said gracias on it. Tip for sushi, gracias. And it was the worst shit. And my mother, I had to lift her up to get her in that big ass truck of mine and lift her to get her out, and she's not doing real well. With all her, that was the last thing she needed. And then we sat down to a shit on the word of a doctor that it was, I guess, a branch out. It was a chain. And the one was good, I guess, to hear the doctor, and I went to the bad one. I could have killed it. I was like,
We're
this is
picky
the
about
one.
our sushi, too.
Fuck the
There, I
McDonald's.
don't go to just any sushi place. And I know this don't sound good, but I would never go to all-you-could-eat sushi place like the Golden Corral with sushi just laid up there. I would never do that. But we used to go to a place in San Diego. It was huge. And they had these revolving bars. Do you remember that place? And you just walk up and the plates were cold. I guess that's a thing in restaurants now, but being from Tennessee, I'd never seen that. The plates were ice cold, and you just go up and you just get whatever sushi you want. And by the time that thing went around a couple of times, that sushi was gone and they were loading it back up. That was good as shit.
Now you should try sushi. I don't like sushi. I don't think a lot of people would be crazy about it. I think if people that say they don't like sushi had sushi. Because typical sushi is a big bar of rice with a slab of that really hot wasabi sauce and a piece of fish on the top of it. And I don't think a lot of people like that because of the rice and the wasabi. What I love, is sashimi. And that is just the really best fish that they have. It's just sliced. And you're taking that raw fish and you're putting it in your soy sauce and you mix some wasabi in it and you're just eating the raw fish. The texture's great. I would recommend sashimi. To the point,
I
Well,
like
one of
the
my-
rolls.
favorite is catching these striped perch these perch that are out here in the bay, and I bring them right in here and fillet them, and I eat them raw. They're just a
Yeah,
good
shot in
firm
the
piece
dark.
of meat.
I do too. I like the specialty rolls, and one of my favorite rolls. It's deep fried. It's got eel in it, and it's deep fried. So I guess that's what sushi used to be, but it's really come a long way, and it's fancy now. And I think that they've sort of catered to people that are not comfortable eating raw fish, and all the fancy rolls and stuff like that. I mean, shit, if you get one that's got shrimp in it, that shrimp's cooked. That's not raw shrimp. It's
Yeah, they're
cooked,
good.
so it's
You'll
good.
like 'em. You can't get good sushi
Oh my God,
in
you live in Asia?
Iowa.
Wolfman lives in Southeast Asia. Oh Lord, Honey, if I could make it for that long plane ride, I'd come over there just to eat
We're
sushi with
specifically
you.
in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam.
Thailand would be my dream, to go to Thailand for about a month. That would be. There's some seals. There's a few seals actually that live over there in starts with a T. What's it called?
Huh?
There's a city in Thailand. It starts with a T. I can't think of it right now, but that's where there are 3 seals that live in that city. And
You talking about Pattaya?
no, I'll think of it in a minute.
Taipei. How about that? I've never been to Taipei. I've been all over Asia. Never went to Taipei.
You teach literature. Oh, how cool!
I never got to Taiwan. So, hopefully those pesky Chinese, they're up to no good to get down on you guys over there.
So I was just going to talk real quick about the oysters. See, there's another seafood place that's opened up, and they farm raise their oysters, and it's the strangest thing. They're rubber, they're black rubber, and they've got a million little holes in it. And you just sort of loop them things together with ties, and you just have your plastic bags floating out there off your dock, and you are raising the oysters. But I bought a bunch of them and brought them home, and that meat and that oyster wasn't even that big. They're nowhere near like regular oysters that you go and get out there. Some of the oysters Don opens up, they're that big around. I didn't like them. Did you?
You know, we were goose hunting this year over here. We have oyster beds all up and down this coast, and really nice, big, ancient oysters mixed with the glass. But right over in that one are the biggest oysters I've ever seen. They're just absolutely untouched by any human ever. They're monstrous.
But
And
when
she
you-
can't eat those things.
But when you get them, well, it's more than a mouthful. But when you get them, Don puts them in a big 5-gallon bucket. And the best thing to do is sprinkle a little bit of salt on them and just fill them with ice. We've got an ice maker. And get them oysters cold as shit. Okay, what exactly is a airline apartment? Radioman? I've never been on an airplane that like had an upstairs in it. I've seen them on TVs that's got the winding thing and has an upstairs and has a bar in it. I've never been on any airplane that big, and the only airplanes I can get on now out of Salisbury, my sister calls them crop dusters. They're about that big, little bitty. There's not even a first class in them.
Oh, what are we talking about here? Cool ice. It's like somebody's been listening in here.
Somebody from here. I'll
No,
do. I can do a crab cake
I would
cooking
tell you,
video.
well, we did that with the. Did we bitch about that on the video?
I don't think so, but we went. I
Oh,
wanted to
God.
make we did.
I guess we.
When
did.
I made the crab
Maryland-
meat, deviled eggs the other day, I don't know what the hell that was, but it obviously had been frozen, and there was no way in the hell you could pick out all the shells out of that. That's the reason that people spend the money on extra lump crab meat, because there's not hardly any shells in it. And if you've ever picked crabs, you know why. You know, when you break into those legs, you can pull out that big old piece of meat. There's no little shells, but when you're picking in the guts, you got shells. So that's why you...
We were kind of pissed because it's not what I asked for. I didn't know there was anything else in there. I said, I need some of that pound that lump crab meat. Well, he didn't take the typical shit we had because he was Hispanic. He took this one. I'd never seen that. I didn't see him put it in the bag until we got back. I was like, what the hell is this? And it says on it, Maryland quality. And it's from a reputable, one of the biggest names in crab shit up here. What does Maryland quality mean? Because that tasted like a bunch of rotten assholes. Oh, it was terrible, soggy shells, and I don't know what Maryland quality means. Like they got it from Asia or some shit.
He didn't mean anything about the Hispanic comment. We love Hispanics,
Well,
and
he
we
just-
love Hispanic food.
Some of my best friends are Hispanics.
No,
No, he's up there. He's a dumb fucker. He can't speak English or something. He stuffed that shit in there. Maybe they told him, okay, let's offload this shit. He looks like a sap.
I'm going to Google that. I'm going to Google that radio man and see what that. You can get a bed. If I could get a bed on an airplane and get me a prescription for Xanax or Valium, I could absolutely make it over there to eat sushi with him. You'd just have to dope me up and let me lay down.
I don't know if we're up for a trip across because you got to go from here to California to Hawaii. It's a long flight. But
Well, when our buddy Army came down a few months ago, his wife's from Panama, and he didn't even go back with her because that's what he was talking about. And because of COVID and all that, going through customs, they say it tickles me looking at her. He said that his wife, if you're from there, you're Panamanian, you can get in and out with no problems. But if you are not Panamanian, he said that the customs thing was just torture. Awful.
I saw the shit the Ukrainians are doing over there to some of that. And I don't know if anybody saw it today, where apparently the women in a village passed out pastries to the Russian troops, killed 2 of them in
Oh
the
my
hospital.
God!
They poisoned them and passed them out to them. The Russians will eat anything. They don't fucking care.
So a ticket is $20,000? I don't think so.
So
We are so cheap.
the damn those Ukrainians, man. I guess there's some really bad shit going on both sides. So we talk about sinking ships over there. There's no telling what they do. So. Okay, what was that? I would take her to
That name.
Air Remembrance. Yeah, Air Remembrance.
That's what
nice things.
I think that's what my nephews fly from Tennessee up here.
Thanks a lot, Bin Laden. We've completely changed the way, but not overseas, not British Airways, not some of the other countries over there do. But I would take her. I've always told her that I would take her to Turkey or Thailand. If you want to take a vacation, we'll go to Turkey or Thailand.
I don't want to go to Turkey. They don't eat no pork or nothing over there, but I'll go to Thailand. What?
So how is my shit about Mexicans any different than yours about Turks? You're a Turk hater.
No, I'm
We
not.
had a bunch of them down at our house.
That's why I don't want to go.
Great guys, Turkish seals. We had a great time over there. You hate Turks.
I do not hate Turks.
Fucking racist.
I love Mexico. I love Mexican food. I like Italian, everything about Italy. And I've never been anywhere, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I love the Italian style of houses. I love Italian food, and I love anything Asian. I just love the fabrics and I just love anything about Asia. I love that.
The things in Turkey are what she would like, and the leather, the historic Istanbul, but the leather markets that were over there, these bazaars that are over there. And Turkey's a pretty moderate Muslim country. The Kurds were trying to kill everybody when we were over there, and so we were protected by the Turks everywhere we went. But she would like that. She would like the old blue mosque and the traditions and the howling and the prayers every day.
Yeah,
like
he's
that,
always
food
talked
and-
about Turkey. He said you would love to go to Turkey and you would love to go shopping in Turkey. But he's always said that Thailand. He said you'd just go nuts in
Turkey or
Thailand.
Thailand. They're undeveloped. They're not I mean, you can go to Paris or some shit, and you're just not getting it. It's too commercialized. Where you want to go?
I don't want to go to
Anywhere
Paris.
in the Orient, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam would be your best bets for something like that.
I know I talk about Phuket. That's it, Phuket. That's where all the seals live. Phuket. Yep. But when we go to Costa Rica, and trust me, I've never been anywhere. That's probably the farthest place I've ever been. I've never been to Dominican or anywhere like that. But we went to the Pacific side, which was American speaking, and all of that. But the Caribbean side for me, where nobody spoke English and it was different money, and we'd stayed on a farm. I'm not really into resorts or anything like that. I really want to go and live with the people and all of that. And I forget, there were a family of Nicaraguans that lived there. And they came in one day, and the son and the father, I don't even know what kind of snake that was. What kind of snake was that? It was huge. It was like a damn python or something, remember? And the owner of the property paid them, I forget how much money he paid them.
Bushmaster.
Yeah, $100 or something for every snake that you kill that was like that. And they came up and showed us that thing's mouth.
Longest
the venom.
fangs I've ever seen on a snake, and I just can't walk past a snake without catching or fucking with it. The more poisonous, the better. I'm really good with them. I've never seen a poisonous snake with fangs that long in my life.
And they're just everywhere, and so it's grown up, and I always I guess I didn't wonder, but those Nicaraguans would wear them boots up past their knees. Well, I know why now. That's why. Snake bites. But the bathroom, this place we stayed in on that farm,
you're not getting up here again.
The downstairs bathroom, the toilet was up on a little built-up box. And they had elephant ears and plants growing everywhere. It was outside. But upstairs is where the bedroom was.
Hey, come on. He's just needling me.
And so the top half of that bathroom was just like screens or open. And then it was wood halfway down. And I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And I opened the bathroom door and flipped the light on. And all these bats, whoof, I flew.
That was interesting.
Oh my God, I about had a freaking heart attack. It was awful.
Nuts.
Oh my God, it was awful.
They're little bats.
Oh, bullshit little. They've got the wingspan of an eagle.
We were sitting in here one night when we first moved in here. And a bat
flew out from the rafters.
The chimney.
Not the chimney.
Wood stove,
yeah.
And flew through here, and then it landed.
Don shot it in the living room.
I went out and I have these rat shot rounds. It was plastered up there high up. I had to put a ladder up and just hit it with the rat shot and knocked it down.
You got a copy that chicken's just put up. I really want to pull that up. First class apartment experience.
Why would we go to Abu Dhabi? She don't want to go there.
Oh, I'd go there. Everybody's been to Abu Dhabi. Elizabeth Martinez has.
There's no part of any of that stuff over there. I'd ever want to go back and.
No, they had
nothing.
We had a girlfriend that was a stewardess, and she spent a lot of time back and forth to India and stuff, and she said that not only did you not drink the water and you did not order a mixed drink that had ice in it and stuff, but when you took a shower, you didn't even want that water getting in your nose. You remember that? Mary Jean was talking about,
Oh, India?
Yeah, about how terrible.
No, there's some places that. But that's where if you really want to experience something, you'll go to something that is not developed. You just don't take a trip to London if you're adventurous.
Yeah, I don't like
shit like that. Better to go to Scotland or something like that a little bit if you're just.
My liver can't take Scotland. I got a bunch of Scottish girlfriends, and I could not spend a week in Scotland. I'd die of liver failure. I know I would. Boy, them girls I can party with the best of them, but them Scottish girls can drink anybody's ass under the table, even Dawn. Them girls can drink. And they explained it to me, and I'll never forget, the dad was a SEAL, a Master Chief, and we had a huge party out there, and our kids and their kids were the same age, and those little Scottish kids were drinking beers. They were getting beers out of the cooler and going out in the woods and drinking. And I said to Aaron, Aaron, I don't want to make Vivian mad, but the kids are drinking beer. And he went, oh, hell, they're Scottish. And Vivian said from a really young age when they would go into town that her dad would go to the pub and belly up to the bar, and the kids did too. That's just the way of it.
I gave my
That's a fun bunch.
My grandson, his first drink of beer, he's a little adventurous. He was running around the table while we were out there trying to get
My
something to
little
eat.
Phoenix.
I gave him a
We
pull.
went to a restaurant with Ashton, and Don had a beer, and he had sort of been a little asshole that day. Like, he's cutting teeth, and his teeth was hurting and all that stuff. And Don said, here, just take a little sip of that. Now, he liked that beer, and she said, that's fine. And we just was talking and stuff, and I don't know if she was paying attention, but I was. He wanted another sip and another sip, and by the time we got him home, I swear that kid was shit-faced.
He had a couple.
Yeah.
He was a brow drunk. He was feeling no pain. We've all done that. I used to pull off my dad's beer. Don't even set that anywhere near me because I'm going to go in for some. So that's pretty cool.
Is London really a shithole these days? I don't know if you're talking about homeless people or not, but I didn't think that was
Wales,
a deal.
that'd be a good one. Wales.
I didn't think that the homeless was a big deal in Europe, but evidently I think it is. And I'm embarrassed to say it, but me and the elderly woman at the liquor store have become quite good friends. And she was telling me that she was originally from San Francisco, and that she had just gone back there a few weeks ago to visit her family, and she said, I just miss it so much. And I said, I've been to San Francisco. Dawn and I went when we were on the ship. But I said, the only thing I see on TV is all the homeless cities. And she said, it's the truth, but she said, whenever they are reporting that on the news, she said, they make it look just as bad as they possibly can. And she said, there's a lot of homeless, but they have gone in and they have built these little houses, like a shed that you put in your backyard, I guess. And they have bath houses and bathrooms and stuff like that. And she said, it's not exactly what you see on TV. So I don't know. That's just what she said.
Yeah, they're all making it look bad. Left to right, every one of them. I don't even want to hear shit out of any more of them. Either one. I don't like any of them. The whole country's going to shit. The left is doing it, and the right is allowing them to do it. So I don't want to hear anything. We're all in a big shit whipping sandwich here.
Yeah, we sort of are. I remember that when we went to San
I'm going to
Francisco.
start dealing fentanyl. I'm going to beat guys that want dominated in the cabin. I'm going to start selling fentanyl. That's what we have to do.
When
We
our
have to get
ship,
on with the program here.
when our ship went to San Francisco, I'm from Tennessee, and I'd never been anywhere. Still ain't been anywhere. But our ship went right underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, and I have never been so disappointed in my life. I thought that bridge was gold. I don't mean 100-carat gold, but I thought that was a gold bridge called the Golden Gate Bridge. It was fucking red. Why the hell they call it the Golden Gate Bridge? I remember just like that ain't even pretty.
Maybe
That wasn't even a...
California.
Oh, I don't know, but I said Golden Gate Bridge. Why the hell didn't they paint it gold? It's red. It's ugly. I didn't get it.
Oh, come on, man.
It's the truth. I thought it was gold. The Golden Gate Bridge. Why wouldn't anybody think it's gold? You didn't think it was? You thought it was red? I didn't.
Guys don't pay attention to anything like that.
You don't pay attention to anything.
We don't look and find the, little, oh, it's the Golden Gate, the Golden Gate. It's a fucking bridge. And it's named that. You guys get all excited about all kinds of bullshit. And it's bullshit. And so I think you're making the whole thing up.
Oh, no, I won't. Because my ship went right underneath it, and there was that bridge, and I was just like, holy shit. But
I was there with you.
I'm from Tennessee, and I had never had sushi. I hadn't ever had very much seafood. I mean, we had catfish and trout. That was about it. But Don took me down on that pier in San Francisco, and they had these little food things set up, little white cups you could eat it. And he got some octopus. And I remember putting that in my mouth, and it was just fucking chewy.
I was about to get that the other day. At Cool Ice, they had it, man.
They did.
Here's your history right there from chickens, of course.
Of course, because chickens are smart.
They had octopus up there, boy. That's some good stuff. I love calamari, squid, all that. I'd eat all my fish baits sometimes.
You're so smart, chickens.
Chickens. Winter chicken dinner.
We would go to the very ends of the earth in Costa Rica, and we had to walk up these rickety steps, and it was open bay, so there was flies and everything. But Don would get this soup, and it was called Rundon, Rundon soup, Rundon soup, and it said right on the menu that the reason it was called Rundon soup is because anything you could run down, you throwed in it. It had every kind of seafood in the world, and Don would pull it out, and it'd be a whole little octopus in there. Now, that's a little too much for me.
No, Manchew's got a thing about any seafood. He was just bashing sushi. Now he's on calamari. You've never had it any good. I will never give you a duck down here. No.
There's Bassett. Hey, Bassett, look, I'm wearing my mushroom earrings. My little nephew, Bassett, here, he's my nephew, and he knows me so well. He sends me just cool shit, and I bet his wife's ready to kill him. But he just sends me the coolest jewelry, and I love everything you send, so now I got my little mushrooms. Love them.
We would deploy overseas on Team 2. We would go to Europe, Germany. We'd be based in Germany, and we'd go to all the Bosnia and all the other countries to do it. And just before we would come home with every platoon, the guys from the States would send over a beer order. And we would take all their beer orders and buy all this German beer, a pallet worth of it. Palletize that shit, fly it home on a C5, and offload it. And they would all be waiting at the team when we came in to get their beer.
The beers that he would bring home from German was like the old ball jars, with the bell, that keeps the top on it. And that's how every one of those bottles had a bell on it. And our friend used to make wine and homemade beer, Ralph Weatherly. And Don would always save his old German beer bottles so he could do that. They were cool.
That Alex Jones is a fat-headed son of a bitch. If you've ever seen the comments he's made about me, you're missing something. Because I've gone after him before. He's the big fucking puss that said that Navy SEALs were responsible for the Boston bombing.
Yeah.
And he went out of his way to show these guys in Navy hats or the SEAL team stuff slinking around in black clothing. And he needs to go straight to hell. He needs to lose everything. And people, I'm going to get on a roll here. People believe that bullshit, these conspiracy theories. And I'll tell you who is next on the hit list and who has been, is that lying son of a bitch, Michael Jaco, whoever you want to call him. I am so sick of people writing me about that lying ass
and he is a SEAL. He's a SEAL.
That is telling people that he is fucking in Mars fighting aliens with Space Force. That's his latest claim. He is with the United States Space Force now, just bleeding people out of money. He sucks. He is a fucking... And that's the other guy. You're going to get it this week of me going after legit SEALs who are total phonies. And then this guy, I'm almost... Never mind. I got to calm down here for a second. We're going to get him because he is going after Gold Star families, not for the first time either, with his SEAL bullshit when he just couldn't keep cocaine out of his nose and they threw him on a fucking SEAL team. But that Michael Jaco is a fucking demon, man. That Bill Brockbrader defending son of a bitch.
But if anybody thinks that any SEALs or anybody, Marines or anybody else, had anything to do with that Boston Marathon bombing, really, I mean,
It's a World Trade Centers too. You know, it's
okay,
weird. I know it's bad.
guys, I
There
gotta
is some
go.
truth.
I
Well,
gotta
we
go.
know there is some truth to SEALs
It's
blew up.
7:05.
SEALs blew up the levees in New Orleans because we know where that story came from.
Where'd that come from?
Bad. The guys were down in New Orleans. That's partially a true story. They said that Navy SEALs blew up the levees that caused the catastrophe flooding there. And what it was is there was a group of SEALs that were on a ship that were doing all the humanitarian stuff down there as part of this task force. And to get off of the ship, they went out and built a bonfire on one of the levees. And they were out there. This is when police are shooting people, looting everything. They're out there on a bonfire, a little campfire out there, and the police got them and arrested them, hauled them in for doing that, looting or whatever. And it was just that. And so word had gone out. The SEALs were on the levee, and they had a fire out there, and it turned into this big ass deal, like we were blowing up the levees.
So, Wolfman, next Sunday, absolutely, we will have a drink with you. You drink your German beer or whatever you're having, and we will have a drink to celebrate with you next Sunday. But right now, I gotta go. Coda's needing his probiotics in a bad way, and I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
go
Terry.
get them.
Thank you,
Thank
Terry.
you, everybody.
I am on a roll. That just lit me up. I might have a drink.
All right, now hush
I
up.
might
Don't
have
get
a
on the
drink
road.
tonight.
No. Don't say no.
God, I tell you, man, I'm gonna pick it all up, but I tell you, I just hate that people believe that shit. These conspiracy theory people, they just, I should do it myself. I don't know how I've missed out on all this, and all you guys need to make a few extra bucks. All you got to do is get on the YouTube and tell people that you are being taught by aliens, you've been visited by them, that you routinely travel to Mars, and there are people that will just shovel that down their neck as fast as they can. No proof required. Michael Jacko requires no proof. None. And people will fucking send that fucking clown money with all his bullshit claims. It's terrible. I really don't like that guy. I don't like that dude at all. Okay, I'll see you before I get thrown off of this thing. Okay, good night. Thanks. I'll see you guys here soon. We got some good shit coming up this week. We're going to post up some good shit. You wait till I get after this fucking SEAL for going after them Gold Star families. Cocaine boy. Okay, see ya.